What's up, guys? This is Mike here at Rogue Comics, and I am now going to discuss something which, to be honest with you, I don't even like this event. I didn't like it when it came out 11 years ago, and I don't know what more to say about it other than that. I mean, it led to the New 52, and the New 52 was was not my favorite time period in the DC universe, but. Oh, hold on. I've been listening to it on, there we go. Okay. That shows you how far back my stream is. As far as, take that off. As far as, when I'm talking to when I get to see it on the monitor over there. But anyways, so basically there was news today out of DC that they were going to, thank you YouTube for letting me know I'm broadcasting. I appreciate that. That they were resurrecting the Flashpoint universe, which, from my recollection, I believe once they saved Bruce, it basically wiped out Thomas's universe. I don't know. I'm sure they'll explain it. I honestly, again, I'm going into this with I couldn't care less about the Flashpoint universe. I didn't like the movie. It led to the formation of the New 52. So right then and there, that that's a big strike for me. But the thing that's important to me, though, is that Geoff Johns is once again writing for DC, and that's the most newsworthy item out of all of this stuff for me, because Geoff Johns is a hell of a writer. Wonder Woman 84 notwithstanding, everything else he's done has been on point. And to have him come back, I mean, I want DC to succeed. I want Marvel to succeed. I want all the whatever. If you have a comic book company that's putting out good product, I want you to succeed. And Geoff Johns is somebody that has in the past proven that he can be successful. He can make successful titles. He basically took the rogues from Flash's Rogues Gallery and made them badass, okay? And there's some characters in there that are below Z level. Okay, Weather Wizard, like seriously, I mean even Captain Cold, like come on. But Geoff Johns elevated them. So anyways, without further ado, let me let you stop staring at this little nifty graphic that took me about an hour to do because I'm just anal retentive with stuff like this. And let's get into it, shall we? Oh, but first now, since Twidget is on this screen here. What's up, Tony? How's it going? And hey, Paul. Yeah, I don't have it for some reason. I didn't have Twidget on the mainstream, because OBS is just yeah. I mean, if you have OCD, it's really not. OBS isn't really good. So, but anyways, enough rambling. Let's go. Here we go. Okay, so apparently IGN. Now, according to this, IGN exclusively announced this. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. It was at 10 a.m. this morning, but it says that the DC multiverse is full of alternate universes and variations on iconic heroes like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Well, I mean, that's true. And of course, there's also the Metal miniseries, which also gave us more derivatives of Batman, which is exactly what DC needs. But it says, but perhaps no alternate reality has made more of an impact on DC Comics than Flashpoint. I would disagree with that. Crisis on Infinite Earths back in 1985, I think, would be the gold standard for events in the DC universe. The original 2011 crossover introduced a war-ravaged world where Barry Allen's time meddling has caused sweeping changes, eventually paving the way for the New 52 reboot. And once again, my friends, that was not a good thing. And even though the Flashpoint reality was seemingly wiped away when the New 52 was born, it's returning with a vengeance in 2022. IGN can exclusively announce that original Flashpoint writer Geoff Johns is returning to this world in a new limited series dubbed Flashpoint Beyond. Now, I've seen some people complaining about Flashpoint Beyond. Oh, what's next? This and this, Batman Beyond or whatever. But you know what? It's their branding. Let them go with it. Who cares? It's, whatever. It's like so stupid to pick on. Along with co-writers Jeremy Adams and Tim Sheridan, Johns will delve deeper into the world of Flashpoint and continue the story of its most tragic figure, the Thomas Wayne Batman. Now, honestly, I don't agree with that either. And also, to be frank, co-writers Jeremy Adams and Tim Sheridan. Now, I'm not necessarily up on what they're doing, but to me, and hopefully I'm wrong, to me this smacks of perhaps Geoff Johns is just basically doing the concept, and Tim and Jeremy are going to be handling the writing. I hope that's not true, but that is a possibility that we need to look into, because Geoff hasn't really done anything for DC since the Three Jokers, if I remember correctly, and maybe something with the Infinite Frontier, perhaps. But it's been a while, and I'm hoping that this isn't the case, and that he is going to. Why can't I do this? He is going to handle everything, What is going on here? Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't want to do this, though, but... Okay. So, yeah, as I was saying before I was interrupted here. So, first up, Johns is teaming with Flashpoint Batman Night of Vengeance artist Eduardo Risso for Flashpoint Beyond #0, which focuses on this twisted Dark Knight and the circumstances surrounding his return to the Flashpoint reality. Now, let me tell you, though, okay? Granted, as I've already prefaced, I was not necessarily too enthused with the Flashpoint series. Actually, I didn't like it at all. But that 3-issue miniseries, Night of Vengeance, it was written by Brian Azzarello. And unfortunately, he's not going to be... why does it keep bringing me to the studio? I'm trying to... He did a 3-issue... There we go. That's what I'm looking for. He did the 3-issue miniseries, the Night of Vengeance thing. And... What is it? Okay, sorry about that. Usually I have the window open. There we go. So anyway, as I was saying, Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso did the Night of Vengeance 3-issue miniseries, and that was really, really good. That took like all of my customers completely off guard, and me too, because the story was tragic. That's tragic. What's up, bro? How's it going? It basically what happened was, and I really, if you don't want to know spoilers, then just close your ears for about, I'm going to do it really quick. But I mean, granted, the story's 11 years old, but still, it was really badass. What happens in this universe is that during the whole Pearl thing, after they go see the Marco Zorro, Bruce and Thomas and Martha and all that, Bruce is essentially the one that gets shot and killed. And Thomas becomes Batman, and Martha becomes the Joker. And it was really good. It was really, really good. And it was only 3 issues, too. So it was, you get in, get out. And, yeah, that was good. But, so, it focuses on Flashpoint Beyond #0, focuses on this twisted Dark Knight and the circumstances surrounding his return to the Flashpoint reality. From there, each issue of the series will feature the 3 writers working with Injustice Gods Among Us artist Xermanico as Batman hunts for a mysterious villain known as the Clockwork Killer. Now, here we go. Why is it not moving? Oh, there we go. Now, there's going to be some art here. I'll show you it after this. I'm just going to read the text, and then I'll show you the images that I got from there. Now, the origin of Flashpoint Beyond. With 2021 serving as the 10th anniversary of the original Flashpoint, and with the upcoming Flash movie apparently borrowing heavily from that storyline, it's not necessarily surprising to learn DC is revisiting this alternate universe. But as Johns tells IGN, the origin of Flashpoint Beyond is a lot simpler than readers might expect. He just wanted an excuse to work with Risso, an artist lauded for his work on books like 100 Bullets. In addition to having a story to tell with Thomas Wayne, it really started with Eduardo Risso, John says. I've wanted to do something with Eduardo since I was introduced to his work back in 100 Bullets. Eduardo was one of the few artists left on my list that I'd never gotten to collaborate with. So when we were first talking about revisiting Flashpoint, I said I would love to work with him, and he was interested and jumped on board. Along with the story, that sealed it for me. And actually, let me see if I get this right. This was the cover to issue number 3 for the Night of Vengeance thing. Oh, this was so awesome. Like, I don't know what it was, and I guess this was before suffering from like bat overload, but it was just cool. What's up, DZ? Is this going to be a comic book series? Yes, Flashpoint will be a comic book series. It's going to be Flashpoint Beyond. And Geoff Johns. Oh, what did I do? Well, there's the cover. And yes, we'll go back to that. So let's see. Johns continues. And it was also Jeremy and Tim, who I loved collaborating with. Jeremy has such a passion for DC lore and exploring it in such an enthusiastic way. I love his Wally. And Tim is always coming from such a wonderful place of emotion. Former DC editor Mike Cotton originally got us all together and we brainstormed what going back to Flashpoint might look like. We knew if we were going to do it, hold on. I don't like the fact that it says former DC editor. Like, come on, guys. We knew if we were going to do it, we had to have an event story that was in the spirit of the original. Emotional, epic, surprising, and impactful. Centered around the great DC universe, pointing it into the future and focused on character. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention Xermanico's unbelievable work on the series. It's dripping with power and emotion. It's just magical. Jeremy and I have been friends and colleagues for years. We came up together writing for TV and film, and I'll work with him any chance I get, Sheridan says. We had pitched a half-baked event idea that we knew would never fly to DC, but somehow it got us talking about Flashpoint. Once we knew that Geoff was considering opening up that world again in Flashpoint Beyond, it all started coming together. So, I mean, that, I most definitely agree with this. And I'm hoping it's good. Truly. As much as the original Flashpoint is a Barry Allen-focused story, the Flashpoint Batman serves as arguably the true emotional core of that story. In this alternate reality, a young Bruce Wayne was killed in that alley rather than his parents, driving Thomas Wayne to declare war on crime and Martha Wayne to become the Joker. Thomas ultimately finds a happy ending of sorts, helping Barry restore a world where Bruce lives and even sending a note to his son. However, as readers of the DC Rebirth Batman series will know, that wasn't the end of Thomas Wayne's story. Thomas managed to cross over into the regular DCU, at which point he became obsessed with the need to convince Bruce to give up the destructive Batman lifestyle. By the end of writer Tom King's Batman saga, Thomas had become the villain, helping Bane take over Gotham City as part of his misguided quest to make Bruce see the truth. You can't be happy and be Batman. Even a resounding defeat and a broken spine, courtesy of Bane naturally, didn't mark the end of Thomas's journey. The character has played a major role in DC's Infinite Frontier series, slowly beginning to find redemption alongside other heroes of the reborn DC multiverse. All of these trials feed directly into Thomas's role in Flashpoint Beyond, And the creators make it clear that this time, Thomas truly is the main protagonist of the series. In the first Flashpoint, Thomas fixed the timeline. His son grew up, became the Batman we know and love, and what's more, Thomas saw the fruits of his sacrifice, Adams says. So imagine thinking that this has been taken away. He is back in the nightmare of the world that still existed without his son. It's the driving force beyond his motivation for the series. Thomas has now seen so much of the world beyond that, you have to wonder if, in those intervening years, he took enough of the light to help him see clearly now that he's back in the darkness that once enveloped and consumed him, Sheridan adds. I don't think that question has an easy answer, which is why it's in many ways at the heart of the Flashpoint Beyond. So, again, this will be Batman-centric, and even though it's not going to be Bruce Batman, it'll be Thomas. Who is the Clockwork Killer? Johns confirms Beyond is a, quote, direct sequel to the original Flashpoint rather than a lost story set before the events of the original crossover. The question of how exactly this reality is even still standing after the Flash fixed the DC timeline will be one of the central mysteries of the story, but the aforementioned Clockwork Killer is really the driving force of this sequel. The Clockwork Killer is a single story, John says, a mystery that will affect Thomas Wayne and all of reality. There will be new characters and concepts between the panels, things that will appear as throwaways at first, but it's all tightly woven together. And here, as you will see in the next frame once I get done with this is the cover for Flashpoint Beyond number 0. And there we have at the bottom what looks like Aquaman, Wonder Woman. I believe that's Constantine right there, perhaps, and maybe Penguin. But this is definitely the Flashpoint Diana and Arthur, and the art is by Dexter Soy. As much as this series is Batman's story, readers can still expect a wide cast of characters, some of whom appeared in the original Flashpoint, and others who are only just now making their debut. Even Flash himself has a part to play, though the creators are keeping mum about what that is. A lot of the fun for me in writing these events has always been the opportunity to introduce and reintroduce DC characters that aren't always at the front of the line, says Johns, pointing to the introduction of the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle in Infinite Crisis, and how the original Flashpoint foreshadowed developments like Cyborg's rise to prominence in the New 52, bad idea for that, and the reinvention of the Shazam family. Flashpoint Beyond will be no exception. Yeah, I don't mind Cyborg rising to prominence, but he should have done it in the Titans because, yeah. Let me get that. There we go. Oh. Let's see, where was I? I just lost my train. In Flashpoint Beyond, there's an unlikely character that will get some focus. The son of Harvey Dent, Dexter Dent. Oh, so maybe that's who this gentleman is over here. Right there. I thought that might have been Constantine, but apparently not. Who was first seen in Brian and Eduardo's Batman story, John teases. Also, although there aren't any front and center, I've been diving into the Time Masters, Rip Hunter, Bonnie and Corky Baxter, and Dr. Jeffrey Smith, looking at both their series that spun out of the Showcase way back when, and Bob Wayne's latter work on Time Masters, Dan Jurgens too. There are other characters, including versions of heroes and villains we never saw in the first Flashpoint, but we'll save those for the book. That's part of the joy of playing in the Flashpoint sandbox, Sheridan says. Geoff's premise allows us to look at characters we think we know inside and out, but through a different lens, or in some cases in a funhouse mirror. There are still the same people we know. These are still the same people we know, but their circumstances have shaped them, bringing certain traits to the surface, maybe suppressing others, and often tricking us into thinking we're looking at totally different people. But it's still Kal-El, and though it's Thomas, it's still Batman. I disagree with that. I think the reminder is that we're all nurtured by the world we create, and that's not always for the better. I don't disagree with that. Flashpoint Beyond will be released in print and other ways, but we don't mention those, on Tuesday, April 5th, aka Wednesday, April 6th for me, with issue number 1 following 2 weeks later on April 19th. For those hoping to catch up on the original series, the entirety of Flashpoint. So yes, there you go. So again, there is Flashpoint Beyond, and as promised, here are some of the images there. I'm going to blow this up so I can see this. Let's see, what do we got here? Yes, Ian, I definitely agree with this. It does, and I'm hoping that it is, because I've been burnt in the past. And yes, he did. It was in the that Flashpoint series. Let me get rid of the studio mode there. There we go. So this is the cover for issue number 0 right there, Dexter Soy. Oh, I went the wrong way. Sorry. And this is the cover for issue number 1. This, I think, is by Mitch Gerads. I'm almost positive that it is. I want to say it is. I could be mistaken, but I'm almost positive that I'm correct. So we'll leave it at that. And what do we got here? This one I believe is by Eduardo. As I try to enlarge and embiggen this. There we go. Yes, that is Eduardo Rizzo's signature there. This one. Now this does look like Art Germ, but I don't know who that is. But this is another cover. That is Arthur right there, and it looks like he's going to be choking out Thomas. And yeah, definitely not mad at that. I do want to know who this is though, but there's the cover for number 1 with this was the thumbnail right there. This here I believe was from Flashpoint. I just put it in there because I did like the art there. Ian says, heard about your channel last night and wanted to learn a little more about comics. Oh, cool. Well, yeah. I do usually just show the books that are coming out on a weekly basis, but this one I felt was because I know there's a certain section of people that are annoyed that Geoff Johns is once again working for DC, and I happen to not be one of those people, so I am glad, and I decided, you know what, let me do a live thing, because I don't have the patience to do like a video, like, you know, editing it and all that, like Pickle does and stuff like that, so I'll just do a live thing and show it off. So, yeah. But thanks for tuning in, dude. And if you want, subscribe. I'm not going to spam you with, like, loads and loads of, like, you know, hate videos and, oh, my God, I can't, outrage videos about, you know, certain things that might happen in the comic book industry. Even though there are some things that do annoy me. But they're not, I assure you, the same things that annoy other people. But yeah, here's some art that they had on there, and I am there for this. I have to be here. 5G. See now where it says there? First of all, look at the top, the top panel there. I don't know if you can see my mouse thingy there, but I am pointing at this. It's almost like Watchmen-esque, because they did do the thing for what was it? It was called The Button. And if I remember correctly, I think it was 4 or 5 issues. And now it just came up. Let me see if I can see the mouse. Oh, it's not important, whatever. But yeah. 5G. Now 5G, see where it says 5G averted in the lower panel there? 5G was originally an event that DC was going to have. And basically, like whatever Future State was, there were elements of Future State in 5G, whereas you were going to have like not Lucius Fox, but his son Luke. Luke was going to be Batman. They were going to basically replace all of the legacy characters, like Kal-El, Clark, Bruce, Diana and all that with newer versions. Basically, they were going to do what Marvel did back in 2016, I think it was. And let me tell you, that was not a good thing to do because yes, you can introduce new versions or whatever, but do not get rid of the older versions because those are the legacy characters and they should still be having stories printed about them. But yeah, so 5G was originally the original event that was going to occur, but then they fired Dan DiDio, and then they were like, I think it was Bleeding Cool that let it slip that 5G was going to be a thing and exactly what the plans were. And I don't know if that facilitated DiDio's firing or whatnot, but whatever it was, they basically salvaged some of it and made it future state and where we are now today and stuff like that, like with John taking over for Clark. And I did see that Wonder Girl, for some reason, they decided to cancel it, which I think was a dumb idea. But, yeah. Let's see what's this. I was on the Grey Council, I think it's called, with the Hot Chick. I saw them promote your channel and been wanting to get into the lore of the comics. Yeah, that's Lunga's channel. Lunga, he did the ranking last night. What the rank? Yeah. Well, I mean, the lore of the characters. I say this to all my customers because I am actually a store. This isn't like a, I know there's other YouTubers where they like read you the comics and stuff like that or break it down. Like I don't necessarily do stuff like that, but I mean, like with the lore, what I would say do, or what I usually tell customers to do when they come into the store is to just pick a character and go with that. Don't be daunted by, like the first book that I ever bought that I remember buying was X-Men 168, I believe it was. And I didn't sit there and worry about the 167 issues I didn't have. I just went with it. And these days with, and as much as I hate it, the digital stuff, or Wikipedia, or there's ways you can, if you want to be OCD-ish about it and know every single thing about a character, you can get the back issues, or you can go on Wikipedia and read they do have character wikis for stuff like that, but for me, I'm just like, dude, just jump in, get in, because I mean, they like, especially if, God forbid, if your character is Batman, then you are in, and you have OCD, you are in for a daunting experience, my friend, because there is so much Bat stuff. I mean, it's not even funny. It's not funny at all, actually. But yeah, so just pick a character, jump in, and there are ways to there are things that you can do. Now, see, I don't remember. I'm looking. If you look, you see that I don't know if it's a chalkboard or whatever, because this is a black and white image here, but whatever Batman's looking at there, what they do in the DC universe, and actually Marvel does it too, is they'll put like hints at what's coming ahead. So like if you look at this board here, you'll see a bunch of things there, like 5G averted and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if this is a panel from the Flashpoint Beyond thing that's coming out, or if this was from the previous, but yeah, if you look at that, you can see some things like, let me see if I can see, Fall of Justice League, and then it goes into an arrow and it says Rise of, and you can't see it because Batman's standing there. Also, it says, who is Deathstroke? Not acting like Deathstroke was a imposter. I'm trying to see it. It's very small here. What do we got here? Who's hunting the time? And I guess it's going to be Time Masters. His daughter will rejoin Justice Society to save it. Beware, he'll find his son. Do not. I can't see what that says. The reason I can't see it is because it's very small on my screen. It's not because I can't begin it. Let's see. What's beyond it to where, and some other stuff. But that's what they do. They'll tease future storylines or future books even in panels like this. Ian says, I wiki some stuff, but I want to own some of the comics, like in my hand. Yes, dude, I definitely wholeheartedly endorse that. I tried digital, but it got to, yes, yes. Dude, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm in Connecticut, and we have winters like we are right now. Tomorrow's supposed to be 13 degrees, and that's supposed to be the warmest it's going to be. But there was a winter, I think it was 2015, 2016 maybe. Actually, I think it might have been 2015, or maybe even 2014. Whatever it was, I was at my old location, and we had 3 feet of snow, and I'm not even joking about that. We haven't had that much snow in a while, so it's pretty good. But what had happened was even UPS was like, dude, your shipment's going to be late. And now what had happened was we were into the New 52, and Scott Snyder was writing the Death of the Family, not Death in the Family. Because Death in the Family was the storyline that happened back in the 80s where Joker murders Jason Todd, thanks to all the people that called in, one of which I was one of those. Yes, that was me. Because Jason Todd he's annoying. I don't care if he's Red Hood now and he's cool or whatever. He's annoying. But back in the day, they killed him. So they did the updated thing was Death of the Family. So on this week was supposed to be the final issue. Now everybody was wondering what was going to happen. They figured, so somebody's going to die, because it was like all of the Bat family was in there. Nightwing, Tim, Dick. Dick was Nightwing. Dick, Jason, Barbara. They were all there. So they were wondering, who are they going to kill? But the issue was delayed because UPS said, because of the snowstorm, we're going to delay it a day. And I'm like, you know what? If I don't get in front of this, I know somebody on the internet is going to spoil it for me. So I found it on the internet somewhere, and I read it, and I felt so dirty. Not because it was something that I didn't necessarily, money didn't exchange hands or anything like that, but because it just felt wrong. Like, these comic books are meant to be held, and the smell of the paper, the pages, like the art, the colors, like all of it, you don't get that digitally. And one of the best things about comic books is that you don't have to plug them in. There's no power source required. Okay. Now, when there used to be, like, we would have hurricanes or something like that, and the power would be out or something, I would still be able to read a comic book. I wouldn't have to worry about whether, the battery was charged or anything like that. Now, if I wanted to read it at night and there was no power, then that might be a problem because, I'd need light and stuff like that. Although if I had a candle. But you see where I'm going with this? Like, there's something to be said for comic books, okay? But yes, I wholeheartedly endorse that because, and yes, after a while, I mean, granted, there was only, maybe 20 pages, I think, in that Batman book. Like, I started to get a headache because of the screen that I was looking at and I was reading it. It wasn't the same. And there are times where, and I know it's a stupid thing, but sometimes what I'll do is I'll go to the end of the book to see what happens if it's a storyline that I really don't care about, and then I'll start reading it I'll like Tarantino it, and go back to the beginning or whatever. But you can't do that digitally. Like, in fact, I remember when DC, back before like everything became digital and whatnot, DC had an app where if you downloaded the app, you would also get a free comic, and it was a Jimmy Olsen comic. And I remember you would tap on the screen, and the screen would bring you to the next panel. So if I tapped on it, it would move it to the next panel. And I tapped on it again, it would move me to the... And I'm like, but what if I don't want to go there? What if I wanted to go to the last page first and then, do what I do with a physical comic? So it's just like, I can't... I don't mind digital as a accessory. Like Marvel Comics, for instance, when you buy the book, you get a digital copy that comes with it. That I don't mind. Because I understand, like, if you're going on vacation or whatever, you don't want to carry a stack of comics. I get that. So that's fine as an accessory. But when you're using it to replace, like, that's where I draw the line, definitely. But DZ says the black and white sketch is pretty nice. Yes, I do like this art. Here's some more for you. Yeah, this is definitely Eduardo Rissa right there. cold face. Whoops, I went back to that one. Yeah. Over cold as fuck, it's 25 degrees here. Yeah, I think, let me see, what do we got here? I think it's definitely in the 20s here. It is, let's see. Oh, no, sorry, we're 17 degrees here right now. That's good, because 17 is one of my numbers, so. Feel your pain. Yes. Nearsighted and get headaches. Dude, that's what I'm saying, yes. I'm nearsighted and I get headaches bad because of the screen. So I've been trying to get things in my action. Yes, definitely. There's just I can't. I'm sure there's a more scientific and medical explanation for it and stuff like that. But yeah, I did end up getting a headache after that. Oh, Quebec. Yes. Yep, so let me see. I think there might be, I did put the original. Oh, this here, it's unfortunate you can't see this, but if you have access to a computer, I don't know exactly how you're watching this YouTube video, but if you have access to a computer, Google Flashpoint Beyond Todd Knock, and you have got to see this image. Like, you have to look at it because it's awesome. I mean, this is Perez-esque right here. There's so much stuff there. But yeah, and I think I made this the second to last one. Nope. Oh, one more. Sorry. And this is from the original Flashpoint series. So, yeah. Yep. So, that I think is it. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm not exactly prepared for this, but whoops. Nope. Sorry. Let me go back to this. Make it studio mode. And I can do this one. Okay. There was I noticed this when I was preparing to get online that somebody they are currently making a Batgirl. They're in the process of shooting the Batgirl movie. And I'm not exactly, honestly, all that, what's the word? I don't want to say impressed, because that's the wrong word. But I don't necessarily, I mean, for me, Barbara is a ginger, you know, and they have Leslie Grace, who apparently is Dominican, playing her. And, yeah. Well, it's not out yet, man. Like it said, I think it said April. So hopefully we're not all in a deep freeze by then, and yeah. And the one thing I do like this Twidget thing, but the one thing I don't like is that it doesn't do the emojis, the emoticons, whatever they're called. It just says, you know, what you have to type. So, but yes, I definitely agree with that. But anyways, yeah, they're filming a Batgirl movie right now, and tonight, Leslie Grace posted a picture of her in the costume, and I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it looks like the latter Batgirl costume, not the original one from, you know, like the TV show, or even the one from the George Clooney movie. But I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go see it, but you know, that's what it looks like right there. So yeah. That's the Batgirl. I don't think it's going to be a theatrical movie. I think it's going to be on HBO Max, maybe. I don't know. There was talk about because Blue Beetle, they were originally going to show on HBO Max, but I think they're doing that theatrically or something like that. I don't know. DC, like, keeping up with DC, like the stuff that they do and the infighting between the fans and the other fans. It's just like it's way too much, you know. Well, I mean, no, it's not necessarily that. It's just like I want I want her to be more like, you know. There's this thing that they talk about representation and how can I say this? And how everybody should be represented, and I don't disagree with that. But, you know, you need to, I feel the characters should be more accurate to the way they are in the comic books. And there is apparently this thing where gingers are being phased out, or are always replaced with like light-skinned black actors and actresses and stuff like that. And I feel that's wrong. Like, I mean, gingers are people too, and they need to be represented. And Barbara is a ginger, so she should be on here. So it's not necessarily sexist. It's just, you want it to be a little more accurate. Hey, Belle. Do I like this? Well, I don't dislike it, but it's not like, I don't know exactly what they're going for here. I mean, she is looking more like the latter Batgirl suit, I guess, So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with this. I mean, I have seen cosplayers do it better too. But then again, I mean, even that happens even in the Marvel universe, because I mean, look at Fox's Apocalypse. Oh my God. I remember when that first came out, I was like, somebody on Facebook did a post where, because it was right after Entertainment Weekly, when they revealed what Apocalypse was going to look like. And on the left side, they had Oscar Isaac, who was playing Apocalypse. And on the right side, they had some dude that was like working at Michael's, and it was a cosplayer. And he looked way better than Oscar Isaac did. And I'm like, this is a multi-million-dollar studio, and you're getting outclassed by some dude that works at Michael's on the weekend. And this is like what he likes to do for a hobby. Like, that's ridiculous, And that sort of laziness is what bothers me with some of these studios. That's why I like when Marvel, like the proper Marvel universe, when they get it right, like, and they usually do, that's impressive to me, because they actually acknowledge what the fans want to see, But yes, well, not that there's any CW. I mean, come on, don't trash the CW, Bell, because let me tell you, CW has the best Crisis on Infinite Earths right now. Okay, that's something that the DC universe, EU, whatever, can't get right. So right now, she looks okay, but the suit looks cheap. I kind of like it. Yeah. I mean, I'll say that. But again, this is the first look. I mean, we don't, let's see how it looks in action and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not. I don't know. No, DZ, it's not a parody. This is actually what it looks like. Yes. I'm so stupid. I want my ginger. Yeah. No, I don't. Well, I mean, thankfully, her hair, it is red. What I saw before wasn't necessarily, it was just like her natural hair color, but yeah. Yes, they do, definitely. Well, let's not throw that descriptor around, because there are people that throw that around. It's like their all-purpose word for things that they don't necessarily like, such as females in a position of power, or brown or black or Hispanic or whatever people. And let's not do that. We don't know exactly, because I heard people saying that about Naomi too, and I actually did watch the first episode of Naomi, and I didn't want to watch it personally because I really do not like Brian Michael Bendis, and I don't like anything that he does, and he's the one that created her. But then somebody explained to me, or reminded me, that he was the main writer, but there was also a co-writer on there. So I had to rewire my brain to recognize that there was someone else that wrote the book with him. And also Jamal Campbell's artwork in there was really good. So I watched it and I enjoyed it. There wasn't anything woke about it. I mean, you could say, if you really wanted to nitpick, which is something that I don't like doing, but you could say, oh, her life is so perfect. Like, everybody loves her. Like, her adoptive parents are awesome. And, she has reinforcement, like she's loved, and, there isn't like any drama or anything like that. She's a skateboarder and she's popular in school. And, I mean, but like, why? Like, does everybody have to be deconstructed? I mean, her life is going to be deconstructed because she's about to find out about her heritage and stuff like that. But I mean, outside of like regular stuff, some people do have slightly positive lives. I mean, everything doesn't suck in their life. Like, I mean, if they go to school, school's okay. They're not getting stuffed in lockers or, bullied or whatever. I mean, it is possible, I mean, I realize that the past since Man of Steel in the DC universe, everything has had to be like, morose and sad and whatnot. But there are positive things in people's lives, and it would be nice for DC to start showing that, because I mean, Lord knows Marvel shows it. I mean, it gets criticized for, too much comedy and whatnot and stuff like that. So, Michaels. Where is that? Yes. Hosea, what's up, man? How's it going? I have not seen you in a while, my friend. I hope everything's good over there. You're talking about the costume. Yes. As was I. I've seen, well, yeah, we're not going to go there with that, but I've seen pictures of Miss Grace, and yeah, I don't necessarily disapprove of her, just, yeah. Not the CW universe. Okay. Well, yeah. What looks brown? Her hair or the costume? I realize the costume. It can't be the costume. You're talking about her hair. Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. I am a male. I am a heterosexual male. And we work, I know Zack Snyder doesn't like to work in primary colors, but heterosexual males do. Okay, I know women, they can like break colors down to like, different shades and stuff like that, but that's not me, okay? I'm primary. So she's wearing what looks like a blue costume, or even though it should be like kind of purple-esque or whatever, and the hair, it does look reddish. So, yeah. But yes, as a female, I'm sure you can tell me like, the number, the tint number that it is or whatever, but I see reddish there, so I'm gonna go with that. But yes, you could definitely be correct with that. But yes. I saw a video with you and Ray on there. Yes, I see how nitpicky you guys are. It's excessive. It's almost borderline OCD-ish. And I speak as somebody who does get like that with certain things, but there are things that you guys were picking that really shouldn't have been picked at. But then again, 90% of people that do videos on YouTube are nitpickers, and I have a threshold for that. Like sometimes I'm just like, let's think about what nits we're picking here, and then maybe not, because after a while it gets to be a little too much, and you might just there's this guy on the internet, Jaded Fanboy, who just everything he doesn't like, and I couldn't imagine going through life like that. That just seems sad to me, but that's just me. Well then, Pickle, this is the Batgirl for you. Not that I'm saying it's bad, I'm just saying, yeah, but it would be nice to see it, in action, see how functional it is. But we shall see. I just and I can say this being Puerto Rican, I just don't know about the Hispanicness of it, but we'll see. For me, she would be ginger and white, but what are you gonna do? This is what DC wants to do, so I'm there for it. I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go see that Batman movie with Twilight sparkly Batman, and the guy that should only be directing TV movies, because Matt Reeves is really not a good director, but people like him, so yes. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. You got the bonus Batgirl reveal there. Initially, I was just going to talk about Flashpoint, but I had this in my back pocket. Figured you guys might want to see it, and that's it. This has been almost an hour, so thanks everybody for coming by. I do appreciate it. If you are not subscribed, I really don't like doing this and all that. Wait, what's this? I got to go back to the previous. Oh, I did add it to this. Okay. Yeah, no. Apparently Leslie Grace is Dominican. So, and that's another thing. Like that whole thing. I think she was in the movie, that movie where they were where they were complaining about Hispanic people not being dark enough or something like that, or dark enough for Washington Heights or whatever it was. It was like, it was a really weird thing to be upset about, but they were upset about it. And it's like, you know, whatever, you know, so yeah, but no, she's, I believe she's Dominican, but all right, Belle and Paul and everybody that was watching, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I'm trying to get more. I was watching a video by Vito earlier, and he was talking about like radio voices, and I did used to DJ at a radio station at Fairfield University, but I kind of, you know, don't have necessarily that much enthusiasm for some of the stuff that happens that I read, but no problem, DZ. Take care, buddy. And yeah, that's it. So I will be doing a video for the books that are coming out next week. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do it because, to be honest with you, and apparently Stormy, a friend of mine, she was posting this thing about winter something or whatever. And I think I have that because, like, the enthusiasm that I had for this, it was initially there, and then I was like thinking about all the things I would have to do, like the images and the thumbnail and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I don't really want to do that, and there was so much involved, and I even had to like Google to find that royalty-free, the flames in the back, because I didn't want the Matrix code again. It was just all these things. Like, my brain is really, you know, high functioning, low IQ. But anyways, that's it. There are the places you can follow me. You can go to roguecomics.online and have it do all the work for you, because all the links are there. You don't have to do individual things. They're all there. All of the social medias, the despicable social medias I'm forced to participate in are all there. I am a store. If you are looking for things, then definitely get in touch with me. I can see what I can get for you. There are, believe it or not, as ridiculous as it sounds, and it does sound, it is completely and totally ridiculous, but there are supply chain issues, and sometimes getting archival things or whatever can be a little difficult, but I'll see what I can do and do it for you. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you guys have a great warm weekend, depending on where in the world you are. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.